Hey, it's Bill Gross, the LA probate expert with my real estate market update. And still no housing crash in sight at all. Why are so many people predicting one or saying it's already here? When I go on YouTube every day, I see real estate pundits saying the crash is here and showing some number down 29% or more. Usually the numbers they're talking about are maybe new sales or pending sales. But what's not happening is prices are not going down. A real estate crash normally is not just when there's less sales. Just like when the pandemic started to wind down, people started adjusting their sales patterns back to a more normal market. Prices didn't go down, and it looks like housing is going through the same thing. Let's take a look, as I always say, let's take a look at the data and see what the numbers tell us. Now, it's true that mortgage rates went up again this week, reversing the last 3 weeks. We had a nice drop 3 weeks in a row in the mortgage rates. And then all of a sudden, boom, rates went back up again to not quite the highest from before. They got up to about 5.5% and ended down. To me, this is the barometer of the market. In order for demand to stop, this number has to go up and set a new record. The concern or fear of hyperinflation as the rates go beyond 5.5% to 6 or 6.5%. But as long as rates stay here, based on the numbers we've seen, with housing prices expected to rise by 7 or 8% more than this number, we will see continued good buyer demand for housing. Now, meanwhile, the housing industry is yelling louder and louder that a bubble is imminent. But it might be true in stocks. It might be true in cryptocurrency that there's a bubble ready to pop. I'm not an expert on stocks, so I do have investments. I try to be conservative about it. I do have a little bit of cryptocurrency, but I'm not by any means a crypto investor. And I could imagine that you could say in those markets, the market are crashing or due for a drop. But in order for housing to have a crash, for the bubble to burst, we'd have to have so many houses more for sale, the sellers are forced to cut their prices to get out of them. We'd have to have more distressed sales. And do we have that? Well, the statistics say no. Take a look at nationally, the inventory continues to go down. It peaked a little bit last week or two ago. We're still significantly below last year's record low by 16%. We're significantly below 2 years ago by 44%. And we're even more below the pre-pandemic years of 2019 and 2018. So we have a historic low inventory. Additionally, when you look at other statistics in the marketplace, you'll also see that if anything, the market is getting better. Now, these are numbers for national statistics. How about locally in the local multiple listing service in Los Angeles? Here are the numbers showing where we are today. And yes, there's been a recent uptick in homes for sale. You can see this is a pattern. It goes down, back up, and down again. But the new high is below a year ago, 2 years ago, and way below 3, 4, and 5 years ago. So the housing inventory here in Los Angeles is still way below historic average. We'd have to go above this number to start seeing the pressure to reduce prices. Another key indicator, I think even more illustrative, is the sales price per square foot. And there, when you look at it, you'll see that it's continued to increase. The trend is upward. It's been nonstop for the last 3 years or so. It's true that there's a little bit of a back, but you can see it goes up, down, a little bit up, down. But the long-term trend has been up ever since 2017. So as long as people want to pay more per square foot for a house, we can expect housing prices to continue to rise. Now, what does the industry think of the average home buyer coming to their site for information? I have to tell you, I saw this article and I just thought I was going to fall in my chair laughing, but I really realized how insidious it is. One of the number one sources for real estate information for buyers is, what would you say it is? Zillow, right? So Zillow did some research, and this is their press release. This is for real now. It's not April Fool's joke. Half of Americans cry at least once while buying a house. Now, just think about that for a second. I don't want to get sexual. Do men not cry or more likely women to cry? Investors buy 20% of the houses. They don't seem to cry when they don't get a house or it doesn't go according to plan. They might get mad or upset or yell. But half Americans cry at least once while buying a home. I just find that extraordinary. I think even more extraordinary is who would think even to ask such a question? And I think it kind of shows the thinking of where the real estate industry is. That, I don't know, why would you spend your energy, whether it's true or not? Why would you tell people that other people cry and you don't, or you're crying and half the people don't? What is even the point of the information as far as helping people be more effective? And I do think, and I do tell my customers that buying a house is a very emotional process. And even my most unemotional customers, bankruptcy attorneys, I think, are the barracudas of the ocean. The least emotional in business can get very emotional in buying a house. I don't know that I've had one cry. I've sold hundreds of homes in my career, thousands of homes, I guess, more than that if I count what I've managed. But I've never known somebody to cry routinely. I know it happens. I'm sure it happens. But here's my point. Is the industry taking you seriously? Look at the data. They're talking about crisis and crashes and bubbles. Again, might be true in stock, might be true in crypto. There's no way that that's going on in real estate today in the real estate industry. So what to do? Well, look, if you want to sell a house, one of the challenges is that if you're going to buy a house and borrow money, the rate on the new house is higher probably than the rate you have on your refinanced current home. And that's a challenge for sellers who were looking to move, who all of a sudden realize it's more expensive. The higher price in the destination and the higher mortgage payment might delay plans or defer plans to make that move. By the same token, you can get a great price on the house you're looking to sell it and still get great terms. For a buyer, there are buyers who tell me they're going to wait for the market to cool off. I don't see it cooling off. I see housing prices continuing to go up more slowly. And if rates stay where they are, you're going to miss an opportunity. And the most important thing about a home buyer is you got to look at a 20-year break-even period because there's closing costs. If you buy a house and sell it in the short term, most home buyers, it's not an investment in the short run. It's a long-term tax program and accumulation of wealth. For 20 years, I don't think the difference in the housing price that you got outbid will make a difference. That's been my experience of being in the business for 36 years. So if I can help you, if you're looking to buy or sell, call, text, or email me. My information is below. And as always, make this week your best week ever. Thanks so much.